SuperTalk Mississippi Media production.
Have you been seriously injured? Mama Justice is here for you. Our medical team partners with top-notch doctors, surgeons, therapists, and urologists, ensuring a comprehensive recovery journey. If you've been injured, call Mama Justice today. We're here for you.
I'm Steve Azar, and I'm on the other side of the microphone, meaning I'm asking the questions this time, and oh, have mercy for the airwaves. I spent 20 years in Music City, wrote and made some hits, traveled the world, and then moved my family back to the birthplace of American music and where the magnolia trees prosper. And now every time I put my feet on Mississippi soil, when I'm off the road, well, I'm at peace. On this show, it's all about hearing the stories straight from the mouths of the friends I've made along the way, their journey to success. Heck, there might be someone on, I don't even know, but you know how us Mississippi types are. We tend to take well to new company. In a Mississippi Minute, all 60 of them. I'm Steve Azar. It's just like that muddy river, moving slow. Ain't no worries, it's how life goes, baby. In a Mississippi Minute. That's right.
Hey folks, time for another In a Mississippi Minute. Always grateful for you tuning in. It means the world. Into my 8th year. I can't believe it. Just had the time of my life learning to listen. And I'm hoping you guys are listening. That Superior Catfish is produced right here in Mississippi. Where else would you get it? Go to SuperiorCatfish.com. Great folks over there in Macon, Mississippi doing it right. And visit Mississippi.org. Celebrate so many wonderful things that scream our beautiful Mississippi, our hallowed ground. We're going to be talking about one of the best community colleges in the country, which happens to be on Mississippi soil. I was recently speaking at Pearl River Community College down in South Mississippi and was privileged to have dinner before, seated to such a wonderful and interesting, compassionate, and extremely wise man. I felt a little bit like Gilligan once again, and the skipper was next to me on Gilligan's Island. You know what happens when someone is all that? I get excited. All I can think about is having them on my show. It's an honor to welcome our guest, a distinguished leader for sure in Mississippi's educational landscape with almost 50 years of public service. He served as the president of Pearl River Community College far back as 2000 before handing over the reins, dedicating his career to shaping the future of education there. When it was all said and done, what an incredible job he did. While under his leadership, Pearl River Community College experienced significant growth in enrollment, I can testify. Gained a national reputation for excellence, built a heck of an athletic program, including a national football championship and beyond. We'll talk about that more. His impact extends, though, beyond academics, as he played a crucial role in rebuilding the campus after Hurricane Katrina, which was a job, I can tell you, expanding job training opportunities for students across the region. Before his tenure at Pearl River Community College, he served as a superintendent of Petal School District, where he led schools to top rankings in Mississippi. His contributions to education has earned him many prestigious honors, including induction into the Alumni Hall of Fame of the University of Southern Mississippi. As he embarks on a well-earned retirement, because he deserves it, his legacy of excellence, it'll never fade. Innovation and service will continue to inspire future generations, and I mean everyone he's touched. Please join in welcoming one wonderful man, teacher, husband, father, and by the way, a heck of an athlete in his day, and probably still is, with Dr. William Lewis. Hey, Doc.
Good morning, Steve. It's certainly an honor, and you're very kind with your remarks. I deeply appreciate them, and I'm very honored to be with you this morning.
Well, you know, I'm only telling the truth here. I'm always about that. I think I had a lot of little white lies when I was a little kid running around my house, but I learned those things turn into other things, so I've tried to stay away. But no, just sitting next to you and your wonderful wife, Miss Janet Gale, I mean, I just really was moved by your passion for you still have a twinkle in your eye, and that light in your eye. You know, I was sitting next to the new president and just so many people that have been involved in Pearl River Community College, which I feel like you sort of recruited in your day, and everybody had the best things to say about both of you. But just sitting next to you, I just really felt like you've just had such a wonderful career So I want to start in the rearview mirror like I do a lot of times, and I want you to take me back to your folks, to your upbringing, your world in sports. You and I talked about that mattering and how it helps shape you and also make sure that it allows you to understand failures and to be able to handle losses, to be a teammate, to be a leader. But I really want you to tell our listeners about the whole enchilada, about how you go to Southern, what goes on. But take me back to those wonder years, if you don't mind.
Okay, well, we'll take it step by step if I can, Steve.
Sure.
And I do appreciate it. But I was blessed to be brought up by a wonderful family. I was an only child, and my dad had been a World War II veteran, spent a couple of years in Europe fighting in World War II. Came home and established himself first in the Mississippi Delta at Rolling Fork. And, I was born in Jackson, but I spent the first 5 years of my life in Rolling Fork. My dad had been, from the Mississippi Delta originally. He grew up in Clarksdale.
Wow.
And, was a teammate of, the infamous, Charlie Connolly in, high school.
Oh, man.
And, then my dad was fortunate enough to go off to Sunflower Junior College in Moorhead, Mississippi, now Mississippi Delta Community College, and he played a little football there. And then he went off to the war. And when he came home, he met my mom. My mom had worked for the federal government in Greenwood at a federal installation in Greenwood, Mississippi during the war. And they established themselves in Rolling Fork, and we spent those first 5 years in Rolling Fork. Then moved to Jackson and spent a couple of years there before they built a home in Clinton. And I was very fortunate, very blessed to grow up in Clinton, Mississippi. Clinton was a very different town then than it has become now. And I was able to do some things that were a little bit different. I want to tell you a little story that I tell quite often to people, and when they talk about Jackson. And, you know, we all want Jackson and our capital city of Mississippi to do well, but it was quite different then than it is now. Jackson was the center of commerce for the state of Mississippi. This was before any shopping centers were built around the state. As best I remember, Westland Plaza out near Provine High School in Jackson was the first shopping center in the state. And a lot of people in Clinton worked in Jackson, in downtown Jackson, but they didn't have cars. And they would walk to the old Gulf service station, get on a city bus that ran from the old Capitol, down Capitol Street, out Clinton Boulevard, out Highway 80, and went to that Gulf service station. And it made that round trip 2 times a day. And people would get on, ride to work at Capitol Street, get back on the bus in the afternoon, and walk home in the afternoon. Clinton was a small little community. When I was 12 years old, my buddies and I would pay a dime and ride that bus to Capitol Street, get off, go to the Paramount Theater, go in, see a movie, come out, walk down the street to the corner drugstore, Walgreens, on the corner of Capitol Street, and I think it was Amite Street at that time. We'd go in, get us a cherry Coke or a chocolate milkshake, and come out and walk the streets and look at the pretty ladies up and down the street, get back on the bus, and ride back home. We never bothered anybody. Nobody ever bothered us. We had a great time, and it was a great time to be alive as I was growing up. But it was fabulous to be a young guy growing up in the Jackson area at that time, which is quite different than it is now. You couldn't do that today in Jackson, which I think is a real shame.
You know what's funny is my buddy Mark Allen Springer, who was my partner in publishing when I finally had my hits, was from Weiner, Arkansas. Tremendous basketball player, Mr. Arkansas in his class. I made him take me to Weiner one time to because I didn't believe it existed, you know.
And until I saw that sign, welcome to Wiener, and they were in that, that area of Arkansas where they didn't have football, and it was a basketball community and baseball community. He wrote this great song called It's the Simple Things in Life, like the kids at home and a loving wife that you miss the most. I mean, it's all the beautiful thing. Kenny Chesney made that number one. Let's take a quick break, and I want to talk about your athletic days and then how you got into education. We are with one beautiful man, Dr. William Lewis, who has made a tremendous impact on not just education in Mississippi, but on Mississippi, period. And you can tell by his passion. At big part of Katrina, and he's thinking about Rolling Fork when that awful tornado came through. So he knows what rebuilding's like. Speaking of something that you want on your plate, you can go to store.superiorcatfish.com. They're going to deliver straight to Miss Janet Gale's house, Dr. Lewis's house, and visit Mississippi.org. He's had a lot to do with us being able to celebrate that over his career. I'm Steve Azar. We'll be right back.
I've been dying for you. Took forever, it seemed, to find you. Less than a second for me to adore you. Hey, 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 Rita Laura. Hey, 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 Rita Laura. Yeah. Hey, hey, hey.
Listen and watch all your favorite SuperTalk Mississippi shows live and on demand. Listen to tons of music. Plus, get the latest breaking news from across the state with the SuperTalk Mississippi app. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Download the SuperTalk app on your iPhone or Android device now for free. Just search SuperTalk Mississippi in your app store on your mobile device to get everything Mississippi all in one place. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Get it now.
Patriotism is
Love spending a Mississippi Minute with one heck of a Mississippi man, Dr. William Lewis, former president. Well, I mean, he did so many things, and we're going to try to dig into it as much as we can in a Mississippi Minute. It probably won't allow us to get the whole enchilada. Before we get there, forget enchiladas today. Think Superior Catfish. There's catfish. There's Superior Catfish. Head on over to superiorcatfish.com. Produced right here in Mississippi. Visit Mississippi.org. Our Dr. Lewis was produced and made in Rolling Fork, Mississippi. And somehow the Delta lost him to the south of Mississippi. But he's not that far away. I took that road trip recently. Dr. Lewis, okay, so you think about those memories. I do. I dwell on those memories. I think about them a lot in my songs. Sometimes if you dig into the rearview mirror, while you're in the moment, you appreciate it, but your memory gets very vivid on what you saw because it was so important in your upbringing and what shaped you. So you're done with that. You're playing. You had a big high school athletic career. Start there and then go to Southern.
Well, I don't know that it was that big, Steve. It was.
It's my show. It was very big.
Okay, I'll buy into that. Clinton was one of those kind of towns where, as kids, we did everything. Mississippi College was right there in town, and that was our playground. We would go in the afternoons and play pickup football games, tag football games on their football field, and they wouldn't run us off. They'd let us play on their tennis courts. They'd let us play on their baseball fields in the summertime. We'd have pickup games in the summer. They even had an indoor swimming pool back then that, for some reason we knew how to get into that when it was locked. And the same with their gymnasium. But Mississippi College was a real special place for us, and gave us a lot of opportunities. But Clinton was one of those kind of communities where most of us did everything. We played ball. We were into all kind of clubs and activities. High school band was a big thing in our town. In fact, our high school band, twice while I was in the band in high school, went to the National Band Festival in Enid, Oklahoma, and got the highest ratings of any band in the country.
That doesn't shock me. That doesn't shock me. I swear.
Well, our band director was left us and went to the University of Texas to get his doctorate. And while he was there, he became the marching band director at the University of Texas. That was Dick Prenshaw.
Wow.
Mr. Prenshaw's wife, Peggy, a lot of folks who have been involved, and I was involved with the Mississippi Humanities Council for a number of years. Peggy was very active in the Mississippi Humanities Council, but she was one of my high school English teachers for a couple of years. She went on, taught at the University of Southern Mississippi, and then got an endowed chair at LSU for a number of years at the end of her career. And she is the very reason that I could write as a professional, because she taught us the English language and how to write the English language. And so we had some people like that were very instrumental. My high school basketball coach ended up being the mayor in Clinton during a real growth period for the city of Clinton. And so I had people like that were around me and guiding me and were role models for me. But we were able to do a lot of things, play in the band, play athletics.
If you're playing football and you're playing in the band, how did that work out?
Well, it didn't work out very well, to be honest with you. But my love was basketball.
I knew that.
Admit,
I knew that.
And I ended up playing basketball. Somebody had put in my mind that I could be a Division I basketball player. In my senior year, I dedicated to basketball and baseball, and had a chance as I came out of high school to go to the University of Southern Mississippi. And back then we played, if you'll remember, there were freshman teams and then there was the varsity team. And that was the way it is. You had to play freshman ball before you played on the varsity. And so I went and tried to play as a freshman. I was 17 years old and had enjoyed some success in high school as an athlete. And for some reason, things just didn't work out real well for me. I was not focused. One of the things that happened to me that was a real strange thing was I had my wisdom teeth cut out the day after I graduated from high school. And that summer before I went off to Southern Miss, I relapsed and couldn't get over that wisdom teeth. So I didn't train the way I should have, and I was not prepared academically or athletically and didn't get focused. And so I ended up leaving Southern after a year when I saw that it just wasn't going to work out for me. And I went to, which was very disappointing. I had worked hard in high school and I worked hours that other folks didn't work in the gym.
And then you run into this obstacle, right? But this obstacle to me helps mold you, right? You're looking back.
No doubt. No doubt, because I had been used to success. I was very blessed in my high school career to have a lot of success and have a very good high school coach and really good teammates. But, things just didn't work out. And so I ended up going back to Mississippi College and played a couple of years, got a letter, was, not a great player, but I played. And then I saw my senior year after an injury that I received, I saw that I might not be able to finish out that career the way I wanted to. And so Stute Allen, James Q. Stute Allen, infamous basketball coach at Mississippi College, led Mississippi College to a national scoring title where they averaged 114.6 points a ball game.
Come on. With no shot clock.
No, I'll tell you what it was. Number one, he was probably 30 or 40 years ahead of his time with the fast break game. And
were you guys pressing also?
Absolutely. His version of defense was play man to man, and when the ball goes through the net, you grab the first guy closest to you. And maybe five guys guarding Steve Azar at a particular time. But Coach Allen was a unique kind of fella, and I went to him and I told him, I said, look, Coach, I probably am not going to do you a lot of good my senior year. How about letting me coach the freshman team?
Come on.
He did. Back then, Mississippi College freshmen played in the City League in Jackson. They played at the old air base in Jackson. There was a gym there, and they played a schedule and with some local teams and things like that, and that was their freshman schedule. And so I talked to him and I said, look, I want to do something if you'll let me. I want to play the first schedule for Mississippi College freshmen that's dedicated to community colleges or junior colleges back then, and other freshman teams from USM, Mississippi State, whoever will play us. And so he agreed to it. He said, but you're going to have to go convince Coach Hartwell McPhail, who was the athletic director. And so I went across the hall and I told him what I wanted to do. He said, let me think about that. And he came back to me and said, we're going to let you do it. And so they let me devise the schedule, coach the team. And we went through that, about a 20-game schedule that year, playing the community colleges or junior colleges. And we played University of Southern Mississippi twice, and I'm proud to say we beat them once.
All right, let's take a quick break because we have to. I don't want to, but we have to. Real quick, Dr. William Lewis, unbelievable. That's where his educational ability as a teacher and a coach begins, as far as I'm concerned. Superior Catfish is waiting to hear from you. Go to superiorcatfish.com and visit Mississippi.org. As your music and culture ambassador of Mississippi, I implore you to plan a road trip. Head out and check out this incredible school that Dr. Lewis had so much to do with, Pearl River Community College. Beautiful campus. I'm Steve Azar.
You're my sunshine, 'cause like the dawn, you push it all the way. I'm still trying to find my way.
Up to $20,000 available for first-time home buyers. Hey folks, Steve Azar here. Helping is the heart of our friends at Guarantee Bank. They offer programs like the Home Buyer Equity Leverage Partnership Grant that can assist qualified first-time home buyers with up to $20,000 towards down payment and provide home ownership counseling to empower you on your journey. These funds are first come, first served. Learn more about this program and to apply now, go to gbtonline.com. Guarantee Bank, member FDIC.
Keeping you up to date with news, weather, and politics that affect you and your family. Up-to-the-minute reports on air and always online at supertalk.fm. Your statewide news network, SuperTalk Mississippi News at supertalk.fm. In a Mississippi Minute with Steve Azar, right here on SuperTalk Mississippi.
There ain't no street in this town where the memories don't lay thick on the ground.
Rocking through a Mississippi Minute with one beautiful man, one Mississippian, and I've just have gotten to love this man from a dinner and my show right now. This is the beauty of this show. I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for my pals over there in Macon, Mississippi, making the best catfish. Go to superiorcatfish.com and visit Mississippi.org. Plan a road trip down to South Mississippi, like Pearl River Resort. I am the ambassador of that beautiful place. You can go to Dancing Rabbit. I'm going to take Dr. Lewis there one day. The Augusta you can play. I'm all over the map. All right, so let's go from this moment. Here you are. Now you're becoming an educator on the floor in basketball, and we've got a segment and a 2/3 left. So take me from there, and then let's get to Pearl River Community College in the next 18 minutes, because I was blown away by this campus. It is divine. It's beautiful. And you had a lot to do with shaping that into what it is now. So you go from coaching this team, and then now when does Southern come into your life more?
Well, that was
back in your life.
That was a few steps down the road. That Mississippi College offered me a chance to stay on as a freshman coach and get my master's degree, which I was delighted with. And I was riding down the street that spring right before graduation, and I was with a group of my buddies, and we were right in front of the governor's mansion, and they came on with a news flash and said, President Lyndon Johnson has just done away with all graduate deferments. And it just crushed me because I was looking forward to it. 2 weeks later, I find myself at the old induction station on South State Street in Jackson, going through the testing to be drafted into the Army. There's about 50 of us in the room. And here's the first thing that was said to us. Gentlemen, come in, have a seat, sit down, and we're going to pass out your written exam, and we want you to write your name at the top right-hand corner of the paper. If you cannot write, mark your X, and somebody will come by and write your name in for you. And there was a pause, and he said, Gentlemen, you will all pass this test.
Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
oh, man.
And so we're all looking around at each other and saying, oh, no. Long story short, I didn't hear from them. I got declared 1A, but didn't hear from them about any draft status for a while. And so I finally decided I had to get a job, and I just, by pure sheer luck, there was a job opening at Harrison Central High School. And I had a friend who had some influence on that job, and he introduced me to the people down there. Long story short, I got the job at Harrison Central, but it was coaching boys and girls basketball on the varsity level, coaching the junior high teams, helping with football, helping with start a girls track program. I did a little bit of everything, taught 2 biology classes, and it was a bad situation because they had only won 6 ball games the year before total with boys and girls.
Yeah.
And
you weren't used to that.
No. We were fortunate enough to come have some good athletes come along, and we got things turned around and moving in the right direction. Long story short, I ended up as an assistant coach at Gulf Coast Community College, and then moved from there when M.K. Turk was coach at University at Papaya Lincoln Community College, had taken his team to the national tournament. He got an opportunity to go to it was called Memphis State back then.
Sure.
And one of the real premier basketball programs in the country. When he left, he kind of introduced me to the folks at Colin. I ended up being the head coach at Papaya Lincoln for a few years, and got into some administrative work there, was fortunate enough to win a state championship in 1976 in basketball, and got this opportunity to go to the University of Southern Mississippi in some administrative roles, and so just kind of moved on from there. But I ended up staying at the University of Southern Mississippi for 14 years. And,
wow. Okay, let me just tell you how good you are versus me. I needed you back in my beginning of interview days. I would have never found myself back to the question I asked at Southern Mississippi, and you did, and that's the difference between us. That's amazing. You were able to wrap that up in a bow like you just did.
Well,
okay.
I didn't touch all the bases, but anyway, no. I'm glad
you saw the finish line. A lot of times I start looking in the stands. You know what I mean? On the way. That's the best. Well, okay. So Southern, you're there that long. Are you coaching there?
No. I was in some administrative roles in different capacities, and one of the things that they asked me to do one Thanksgiving night, Coach Turk called me and he said, we're about to do the first television broadcast of a USM basketball game that's ever been done. WDAM-TV in Hattiesburg is going to do it from Memphis. And he said, I want you to do the color. John Cox, who is still there 42 years later, is going to do the play-by-play. And John was kind of an assistant to, you'll remember Bill Goodrich, who had been at the voice at Ole Miss for a long time, but he ended up in his later years at USM. He was an assistant to Bill Goodrich. But John and I first told MK, I said, Coach, X's and O's I can do, but broadcasting, that's just something that's far beyond me. Long story short, John and I go to Memphis, and we have an opportunity to do the ball game. And the strangest thing happened before the game. Back then, and you'll remember this, Steve, from your days in the Delta, Memphis was a premier basketball school. They were top 10. They even left people would leave in their wills their season tickets to Memphis State basketball up there in the old Mid-South Coliseum. It was a raucous place. Well, John and I are standing out, both of us scared to death, doing our first ball games. And we're standing on the end of the court, getting ready in front of the camera. Unbeknownst to us, the Memphis State cheerleaders roll out the Memphis State Tiger that's in a glass cage. And so the Tiger is right behind us, and one of the cheerleaders hits the side of the cage with the microphone, and the Tiger roared and scared John and myself to death, and here we go. But we ended up doing radio and television for about 7 years with USM basketball during the heydays. We did a lot of basketball from all over the country, including the NIT championship from Madison Square Garden.
Wow.
So,
I know you fall in love with it because you feel like you're in the game, right? You're such a part of it. And you think about the people that are listening, the fans that are listening. I mean, you're like, I always say you saw it on the radio, especially back in the day when there wasn't TV. And now you have podcasts. People are able to see it again visually just through listening. And you guys were that voice that was in bedrooms and in offices and at night in everybody's cars. And that's just, that's just awesome.
Well, it was a great experience for me, and gave me an opportunity to stay close to the game. And I had a couple of offers to get back in coaching, and I was working on my doctorate, and just said, no, I'm going to take a different direction in life. So I ended up getting my doctorate, and then my real administrative experience started.
Okay, we're going to take a break there. I'm already inviting you to do one more episode because, believe it or not, I have not looked at one question that I was going to ask you because this is what's happening. I'm enjoying this conversation as much as I did sitting next to you at dinner. So can we schedule a part 2?
Absolutely.
Okay, good, because we're going to take a break and finish this thing up. We got about 8 minutes of broadcasting time. We got to thank our sponsors because we can't do the show without them. Also, Team SuperTalk, Superior Catfish. There's catfish. There's superior catfish. The math adds up every time, and it's the best. Go to superiorcatfish.com, produced here in Mississippi, and visit Mississippi.org. The world comes to visit us. We are the birthplace of America's music, by the way. Every dot that ever gets connected in popular music, it ends up right here in Mississippi. Don't go nowhere. I'm with Dr. William Lewis. What a man. What a career. We'll be right back. I'm Steve Azar. $20,000 available for first-time home buyers. Hey folks, Steve Azar here. Helping is the heart of our friends at Guarantee Bank. They offer programs like the Home Buyer Equity Leverage Partnership Grant that can assist qualified first-time home buyers with up to $20,000 towards down payment and provide home ownership counseling to empower you on your journey. These funds are first come, first served. Learn more about this program and to apply now, go to gbtonline.com. Guarantee Bank, Member FDIC.
Keeping you up to date with news, weather, and politics that affect you and your family. Up-to-the-minute reports on air and always online at SuperTalk.fm. Your statewide news network, SuperTalk Mississippi News at SuperTalk.fm.
Hey, this is Bob.
Flying down that levee road, trying to see how fast you go. I got my baby along for the ride. Forever far as I can see, at least that's what I want to believe, girl, as the sun sets in your
We got a little bit of time left, but I've already convinced Dr. William Lewis to spend another Mississippi Minute with me, which makes me even more grateful. Superior Catfish. Go to superiorcatfish.com. Visit Mississippi.org. Plan a road trip with your loved one. Be proud of your Mississippi. Dr. William Lewis spent a heck of a career in education and sports, as you can tell and hear, and we hadn't even gotten to Pearl River Community College, so I know that what he built there has been spectacular. Also, the community college system in Mississippi seems to be on another level compared to most schools. Compared national championships. Just recently, we had Mississippi State win a baseball national title. In the middle of that was Pearl River Community College, and then Ole Miss wins it. So you think about the talent that lives here. We don't have the quantity, we have the quality, and there ain't no doubt. Dr. Lewis, can you back up a little bit now before we get to your days at Pearl River Community College? Because I want to take my time knowing I have another segment. How do you and Miss Janet meet? Because that's the most important thing you ever did.
Janet Gale's father was on the board of supervisors in Harrison County when I went down to coach, and he had a country grocery store that was kind of a gathering place out in the Lozana community out on the border of Hancock County. She, for some reason, started showing up at my basketball games. And I had some of my players kept telling me that you need to meet this lady. And, I was interested in coaching basketball then and, but she kept showing up and she was a beautiful thing and she's been a beautiful partner in life. And, we've been able together with her support, been able to accomplish a few things. And, she kept coming to those ball games, and finally one of my players said, I want you to meet this lady.
Okay, the fact that it was your players, that cracks me up. What are you in the huddle and you're getting about to, you're 1 point down and you're in the middle, and one of the players goes, "Hey coach, by the way, your future wife is staring at you."
Yeah. want you to meet her after the ball game tonight.
That's the greatest.
And they would come by after class in biology class and tell me the same thing. So we finally got together and had a few dates and kind of liked each other and started building a relationship. And almost 56 years later, we're still fighting the wars together.
To think that your players and not like some teachers or friends of yours, your age, would be the ones to introduce you. That says a lot to me about the relationship you had with your students, players, academically, on the court, on the field. I mean, how were you able to lead looking back? Because that to me is a game changer, because I loved a coach that could communicate with us as a friend, but you knew he was the boss.
That's a difficult, it's a fine line you have to walk, Steve. And, first of all, I love my players. And, I had a unique situation at Harrison Central. We were the first county school system in Mississippi to voluntarily desegregate. I coached the first black, male player to play in the boys Mississippi High School All-Star game. He was one of two players that year to play, Larry Hawthorne.
Wow.
And, I had an unusual situation. It was things that, it was kind of like working on Katrina when I got to Pearl River. It's things they don't teach you in graduate school, to have to deal with. But, I love those players and they love me back. And, I was able to develop a real strong relationship with their parents and, to be able to communicate with them and, had some bumpy starts that first year, because we were trying to restructure things and some kids that had gotten to play, the year before I got there, just didn't fit the bill. And so I had to battle through that. And that was a little bit of a bumpy start.
Sure. With parents and everything, right? You're dealing with.
Sure. Well, people love their kids and they want their kids to excel. And as a coach, that's the reason that I got in it. When I was in the 11th grade in high school, I walked up to my high school basketball coach at a recess one day and told him, I want your job one day. I knew in the 11th grade that that's what I wanted to do. My grandfather wanted me to be a doctor, a physician. I chose to go a different route, but I loved every minute of it and very grateful to the good Lord for blessing me on that path.
You've been called to this. Dr. William Lewis, what a man, what a career, and I can't wait to dig into the next chapter. I got a little bit verklempt, I got to tell you. I admire this man so much, and I've just gotten to know him in 2 seatings, but that's all you need in life a lot of times. Superior Catfish is waiting to be on your plate, to have it on your plate tonight at dinner. Go to superiorcatfish.com and visit Mississippi.org. Man, plan a road trip. Be proud of your Mississippi. Head on over. If you're a young student, you got a chance to go to a community college. Pearl River Community College is waiting on you. I'm Steve Azar. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Steve.
I'm Steve Azar. In a Mississippi Minute, all 60 of them, where you can take your sweet time.
A SuperTalk Mississippi Media production.